Well, let's talk base layers. We've got a bunch laid out on the table here. What's your read on this?
Yeah, there's a couple different options when you're thinking about base layers, and I really gear my decision making based on where I'm going, how long I'm going to be there, and what capability I have to carry items with me.
Let's talk weight. So lightweight, midweight, heavyweight.
Yeah, so typically I'll wear a lightweight base layer for almost every scenario that I find myself in, and then I'll carry a heavyweight base layer as actually my second layering piece. On single day trips where I'm not carrying a lot, I'll just go with that midweight layer.
Ditto for me. Lightweight pretty much all the time. A really cold trip, maybe a heavyweight, and midweight with a hood for sun when it's hot. Look at all these colors.
There's a ton of color choice when it comes to base layer, and for me, I go a little bit with my personal preference, but if I could, I'd wear black all the time, and that just doesn't work when it's really hot on the glacier, so I go with lighter colors that I actually really like.
I love bright colors, I think, because your base layers end up being your outer layers a lot of the time, and I don't want to look like I'm wearing underwear.
So when it comes to fabric selection for base layers, the choices can be a little bit confusing with all the new technology. There's basically two options, your synthetic fibers and then your natural fibers like wool or cocona. What do you go with?
You know, I like them both. I think what's really important to me is how the fabric lays and feels on my skin, so touch is really important.
Yeah, for me personally, I'll typically go with a synthetic fabric. It's the fastest drying, though the stink factor is a little bit higher.
You know, there's a lot of different features out here on the table, but it really boils down to personal preference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You know, when I'm choosing a base layer, I'll typically just go with a super lightweight synthetic crew neck. It's flat seams, no zippers. I can layer over the top of it if I need to. If it's a little colder, I'm going to be wearing it for a greater duration. I'll go with a grid fleece, and I like this quarter zip with a hood. It adds all the versatility I need.
For me, it's just what I'm wearing. Quarter zip is huge. I love dumping heat right out my chest here. Sleeves that roll up to expose my forearms, light color, flat seams as you mentioned, and again, something that feels good against my skin. How about when it's hot?
When it's really hot, I still go with a light base layer, but I actually like to have a hood and a high neck, protect myself from the sun, and I have this nice wicking fabric so it stays cool.
If you had to pick just one, what would it be?
Of everything here, I think I'd still stick with that hooded grid fleece. What about you?
I'm going with this beautiful women's hoodie.
Brings out your complexion.
You're so sweet.